what inspired the two of you to get into this business?
Me on that one. Okay. So, really for us, like the journey started back in high school because when we were that age, and those are most of the students' age that we work with, high school and up, we got really excited about entrepreneurship and becoming entrepreneurs one day. And that was largely due to our family, who has a lot of entrepreneurs, but also our
Mm-hmm.
dad, who really pushed us towards material that most kids probably weren't seeing, and instilling messages that most kids don't hear about passive income and alternative
Mm-hmm.
investing, and even just explicitly saying, the traditional path isn't the only way to do this. And so we got exposed to it and we got really excited about it. Something just clicked. And as excited as we were, once we decided like this is something we want to explore, there was no structure inside of our high school that was like, oh, you want to be entrepreneurs, like let's teach you how to run a business, let's make time for you to actually learn about this and maybe start a company. Anything that we were going to do had to be outside of normal school hours, also outside of the extracurriculars and sports that we should be doing because we wanted to get into the good college and follow that traditional
Mm-hmm.
path like everyone else was doing. So we basically put that on hold, even though we were really excited about it. Went through the college path, went to business school, got finance degrees, did really well there, got into really good jobs in Chicago right out of school in banking and consulting. We're making good money for our age. By all traditional definitions of success, we were doing really well, but we were both pretty empty inside because we knew that for us, we weren't being the most authentic version of ourselves because there was this huge dream that we hadn't been able to explore. And we looked back and were frustrated because we had identified that dream of becoming entrepreneurs earlier on, but basically we're forced into not exploring that, delaying that dream, and then ending up in a place where we were both unsatisfied. And so not only did we realize we didn't want our journey to necessarily happen to other people, but we also knew that we were able to succeed in school in the traditional path largely because we had the support system at home that encouraged us to play the game of school, and like we learned how to play that game really well. But there's so many students, Jordan is one of them, that don't do that well. Like they're just not naturally inclined to be able to sit in a classroom all day, retain a bunch of material, memorize it before a test, and do well enough to move through the ladder. But there's super talented, super smart people that could succeed if they were given the right tools and encouraged to pursue their gifts and their passions. And so we just were really frustrated by that. And we thought, okay, not only should we start a company, we picked back up on a camp idea actually that we started as a college summer job, encouraged by our dad, teaching leadership and character. And we wanted to take that a step further and say, let's create the programs that we wish we would have had when we were growing up and help students avoid our path altogether and help them live their 220 life. And 220
Mm-hmm.
stands for second to none. So that's the journey of how we got to where we are.